Oh my gosh, I can't even believe that I am saying that right now. And I think it's finally time for me to be able to sit down and talk to you guys, answer the questions that you had about my journey so far. I've been wanting to make this video for a while now. It has been a journey. My biggest flex right now is that I saw Whitney Simmons do this, and I've been following her since way before I got big, and which is crazy. I'm pregnant at the same time as her. I thought it was such a good idea, and I wanted to take it on by answering any questions you guys had. I can't believe there's so much I am gonna talk to you guys about today. This kind of video is very different to me because normally when I'm making videos, it's not really a conversation like this. It's more of a cinematic storytelling. So I'm going to try to minimize the editing on this as much as I can, keep it very simple. So, you know, we're talking face to face. Just want to say thank you so much for all the support that you guys have given me so far. I really appreciate all the love. At the very, very end of this video, if nobody has asked me, I will tell you how I finally was like, okay, it's time to become pregnant. Let's get into the questions. So by the time I'm posting this, hopefully I've already done a gender reveal, so I will be able to reveal the gender. Do you feel scared when you think about delivery? That's an interesting question to start with. You know what's so interesting is when I first got pregnant, I thought I was gonna be terrified of pregnancy. And I thought that was instantly is what I was gonna think about is delivery and the fear of delivery. And let me just tell you, I have done so much research. I was doing so much research before I got pregnant and that's what I kind of do when I like something or when I start thinking about something, I become obsessed with it and then I do a ton of research on it and I read up on it a lot. I've learned that there should be no fear in childbirth, okay? I feel like we were told a very, very long time ago, I don't know, with the kings and the queens, whatever. There is something that I read in this amazing book. I'm reading 2 books. Well, I actually read a bunch of books, but I'm reading a book called Hypnobirthing, the Morgan Method. Honestly, if you're pregnant, I don't care if you decide whichever way you want to give birth, read that book. It's fantastic. Back a long time ago, there was midwives and people would actually plan to help you deliver the baby and there would be no fear and things would be natural. Like if you look in the wild and you see animals having babies, they're comfortable. You know, I mean, it doesn't look like they're in screaming pain, you know, that we see in the films and the movies now with women, human childbirth. And people can say whatever they want. And so many things that I've read is that at some point, they wanted us to take the midwives away from the women, and then they wanted to start having the babies on their back. And so it created this whole thing of fear because all a woman was told was how painful childbirth is going to be. It created so much fear. Number one, thing I did was I really educated myself first. The more I educate myself, the way less fear that I have. And I'm actually very excited about it. Is that weird? I'm actually very, very excited to have that experience. I'm very grateful I'm a woman and that I can experience childbirth. No, I'm not afraid. And if you're afraid, you should do a lot of research and I promise you it's going to help your fear go way down. How is it to share it with the world like that? Do you worry? No, I don't worry because, I mean, I'm somebody that I feel like it would be for me, and I respect other creators' things like where they don't share the baby. Such a sharing person with my personal life. It doesn't bother me at all. It gives me joy to do that. And you know what? I am glad that I do it because for a very, very long time, I didn't want to get pregnant because I thought I couldn't. It's funny because I'm laughing because I have this reoccurring thing, but that I can't have a baby and still be an actress, or I can't have a baby and still do my filmmaking and my work. And that's just so not true. I want to show the world you can do it. You can be a working actress and you can have a family if that's what you want. Because there's so many people, I'm sure, in Hollywood or actors that don't have children, and then when the time comes when they really want it, it's harder because they're afraid. And I understand it totally. I always thought that, oh, well, 9 months being pregnant, that's going to be a long time. But I am 24 weeks yesterday, pregnant. It's gone by real fast. I'm 6 months. Interfered with 2 auditions. That's it. Auditions. I didn't even book anything. I still made a film, Dopamine Inc., that's going to come out. I still did that while I was 5 months pregnant. So yeah, you can do it. You get tired when you are pregnant while doing filming. In the first trimester, I was really, really tired. I could sleep. Like, I don't think I've slept that well in a very long time. In the first trimester, I was exhausted. It wasn't bad. I didn't mind it at all because I kind of liked the naps. But in the first trimester, I was very, very tired. But it only lasted, I think, for like a couple weeks. And then I was like a lot of energy again. Do you think your cravings are weird when eating them, or do they seem normal to you? It's funny because I had a lot of aversions. I cravings toward pickles and anything sour and salty at the beginning. I hated coffee, which is insane because I love coffee. And for the first like 7 weeks, I hated coffee. I couldn't smell coffee. I went to Costa Rica, and I'm sorry, any of you that's from Costa Rica, I really hate the coffee there. I do not like the taste of your coffee. I'm so sorry. When I was there, it was like a huge aversion to me, and I was just like, bye-bye coffee, which was insane. But now it's fine. I just started eating bison, the meat, and then I couldn't eat that for a very, very long time because I had an aversion to that. And now I don't feel like I have aversions to anything. A couple weeks ago, I really wanted an acai bowl. So at 10 o'clock at night, Marshall took me to Publix to get stuff to make an acai bowl. Now that I'm talking about it, I really want an acai bowl. I might have to go make one after this. Food I've craved it's pickles. I really, really like pickles, but I don't know if it's because I just like pickles. I've really craved sushi, but obviously I can't eat sushi because it's raw fish. You can't eat raw fish, but I do miss sushi. Yes, pregnant women eat fish. But I think that there's certain fish that it's recommended to avoid. So like fish that's high in mercury. So I don't eat tuna. I don't eat, no seafood. I eat salmon, but it's max like 1 or 2 times a week. Just because I guess they want you to keep the mercury level down. I don't have as much. I don't know about names yet. It's so crazy because will you start family vlogging with your child and you? Okay, so this question is definitely, I think, more of a difficult question for me, and I've been thinking about it a long time. Before I was pregnant, I always used to say yes, I was going to, and share my baby online and stuff, but things have changed a lot. Everything that I'm hearing about AI and social media, it's very concerning to me, and the more I watch celebrity creators who also are pregnant or have babies, they're all saying, like, don't do it. I think babies' faces change quickly. It's going to be very, very hard for me. I haven't fully made 100% choice on whether or not I'm going to do it right at the beginning. So I'm still up in the air with that just because there's a lot of problems that comes with that. The very, very beginning stuff, I don't know. What I do know is I will not be doing a lot of content with his face in general. What I will do is incorporate him maybe into what I'm doing without showing his face. Like, so I see a lot of influencers do that where they incorporate their babies, but like they don't show the baby's face. And I think that's going to be safer for him. Because I was thinking, oh, it'd be so nice if he could have like his own page and stuff. But I'm like, it's almost like I'm not letting him eventually decide if that's what he wants. If he wants to do that when he's old enough, then of course I'll help him how to do it. But again, I don't know what I'm going to do with like the very, 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 very beginning. So that's to be determined. And it's going to be very, very hard not to for me. I will have my baby maybe in short films because those for more creative purposes. And so in some films, in short films, I'll have him in, but like that would be for like festivals to go long form on YouTube. And I don't even know how many of those I'd actually do. Were there any signs I was pregnant before? I had a really vivid dream I was pregnant, but signs other than I would say spiritual signs for me, I don't think so. I didn't feel anything different. I mean, I had this like thing of like, I hope I am. What's the most favorite thing in your pregnancy? Oh my gosh, there's so many things. I mean, I feel so good. I'm very, 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 very lucky. I had such an amazing first trimester. I've had an amazing second trimester. I just feel amazing. What I think is pretty amazing is being able to feel him kick. I just love everything about pregnancy. I love the way I feel. Honestly, before I was pregnant, I must have had some kind of chemical imbalance, hormonal imbalance in my brain because I was very sad a lot of the times. Like I'd be disappointed in a lot of things, or I'd have a lot of regret about all the things I didn't do or haven't done yet, especially with career stuff, actors. I mean, I still get that. Since I've been pregnant, like all that's kind of washed away because it feels like it's given me a lot of purpose. It's given me so much purpose that it's almost like, well, what else would I be doing? Like there's nothing else I should be doing. That links right into how I knew it was time to get pregnant, if that makes sense. And you'll know what I mean when I tell you this story at the end of the questions. It's funny. I don't know if it's really influenced the kind of stories I'm doing, But before I was pregnant, everything I was doing had so many babies in it and children. Like, I did this short called My Dad and the Alien that I'm still filming. And I literally filmed that and then I got pregnant right after filming it. The want of being pregnant definitely changes my perspective on storytelling. I think that right now, I don't see if there's anything different. I see I want to share it more. I want to make things like a little more easy for myself, like filming wise. I'm sure once baby's here, I'll have different things that come in my head. A lot of my storytelling creativity comes from like an emotive place. It just depends on where I am emotionally. Right now, I can't really watch anything that has to do with like people hurting babies or, you know, like children in distress. Like I can't watch that stuff. It makes me upset. Do you think becoming a mom will change the type of videos you want to make? I don't know if they'll change the type of videos I want to make. They will naturally change a little bit because of the nature of how much time and energy goes into baby. You are going to see a lot more vlogging style of me for sure. Has morning sickness been an issue? I know I kind of already answered this, but no, I've been really good. I felt nauseous maybe twice in the first trimester. Now that looking back at it, I felt little off, but it wasn't bad at all. I really think it's because I willed it before I got pregnant. I willed it because I was like, I am not feeling sick. I can't stand feeling sick and I'm going to feel fantastic. And I did. And the only times I ever felt nauseous is if I didn't eat. I had to eat a lot in the first trimester. I had to eat like every 2 hours. If I was eating every 2 hours, I would be okay. Eat when I first woke up. I think there was 2 days I was nauseous for 10 minutes and I was laying on the floor. The nausea I was getting was coming from gas bubbles in my stomach and it was pushing on my stomach, getting me nauseous. And so I had to lay on my side and then it would go away. Being in a car, I did not like being in a car in the first trimester. I felt very like queasy in a car. But other than that, I felt really, 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 really good. I'm very, 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 very lucky because my sisters did not feel good. They all had nausea. But I was like, no, I'm going to feel great. And I felt really good. Do I take vitamins? Yes, I take prenatals. If you're pregnant, I say do your research on folic acid and you should be taking the right one. But yes, I take prenatals. I take a vitamin C. I take vitamin D every other day. I take magnesium. I've noticed in this week, in like the 24th week, I kind of was a little low on my magnesium. So I've been getting some cramps in my legs, like a Charlie horse once in a while. Since I upped magnesium, it helped. And then I had to start taking calcium because I chipped my tooth, like 15 weeks pregnant or something like that. I chipped my tooth. So I got a little chip in my tooth. You can't really see it, but it's there. How did I feel when I first found out? I was shocked. I was like, it was so funny because I kind of like knew I was pregnant, but I still was shocked because I didn't realize I was very, very lucky and I got pregnant very quickly. I'm very, very lucky and very blessed. So I was a little shocked. Marshall was crying and I was just laughing. But that's usually how I deal with life anyway. I'll like laugh, but I was very, very happy, very, very excited. How does it feel to have mood swings? Honestly, I'm an actress. I've had mood swings before I was pregnant, okay? I go from being so happy to hysterically bawling to being super happy again. So it feels like every other day. I don't feel like I've had mood swings since I've been pregnant. Honestly, I think pregnancy has mellowed me out more. Like yesterday I broke down crying about something. What was I crying about? Because I thought I was a has-been. I felt like a has-been. So I started crying about it, but then I was fine. I want to share with you guys a really special thing about how I knew it was time. Because I'm sure a lot of people probably wonder, like, when is it time for me to have a baby and be pregnant? Well, for me, I didn't know, and I kept putting it off. And me and Marshall, we've been married for 10 years now. And finally, I was just like, oh, I don't know. We keep saying next year. And finally, I was just like, I need a sign. I need a giant sign. And Marshall's like, you're not going to get a giant sign. You just have to choose. And I'm like, how do you know I can't get a giant sign? How do you know the universe won't give me a giant sign? And he's like, yeah, right. He's like, you're not getting a giant sign. A week later, okay, that's when I found those duck eggs outside of my house, almost half eaten. And that's when I saved those duck eggs. So then I brought the duck eggs in and someone told me those type of ducks, the Muscovy ducks, are the most hardest duck to hatch. And I'm like, well, if they survive, if even one of them survives, it means it's time for me to get pregnant. Well, while those ducks were incubating, was on a walk one day with Marshall, and there was a bunny rabbit. There's bunny rabbits in my neighborhood. And there was a bunny rabbit with her baby bunny rabbit. I just decided to kneel down and do this. I don't know why. But I did this, and the bunny rabbit mother came up and sniffed my fingers. A wild rabbit. Now, I don't know if you guys know wild rabbits, but they're usually very, very skittish. So then this wild rabbit sniffs my fingers. And I'm like, well, Marshall, that's a sign. But I wasn't really convinced yet because I already had it like, okay, I'm going to wait for these ducks to hatch. A few days later, another wild rabbit comes onto our backyard and sleeps under our lounge chair. That's never happened before. Okay. And I was like, wow, this is getting weird. And then the ducks hatch. And I'm like, oh my gosh, not one duck, but two of them hatch. I was like, well, maybe it's time. And so I was thinking, okay, I'm going to give the ducks to my dad because he has a ranch and he'll be able to take care of them better than I will. Then maybe it's time. Well, Marshall and I look at each other. We're like, we don't think we're getting a bigger sign than that. We think like, that's the biggest sign. We're not getting a bigger sign than that. Well, anyway, we say that. And then all of a sudden I'm outside with my ducks and a giant bird lands on our yard. This giant bird. I've never seen a bird look like this. Okay. It looks like an alien bird. Like, I'm like, this looks like a mix of a pelican and some alien bird. Anyway, this bird walks all the way to me. We have a long backyard, so this was like probably like 50 foot walk. Okay. Comes all the way to me. And he started staring at me and I'm like, okay, maybe this bird wants some food. So I tried to give him some mealworms and he's not having it. He doesn't eat it. He just wants to stare at me. And then he's staring at my ducks and he's staring at me and he's like walking around the ducks and he's just staring at me into my soul. Marshall's like, this is strange. I'm like, this is so weird. This bird was staring at me for like 15 minutes. And then all of a sudden, Marshall comes out and he goes, because he takes a picture of the bird and he's like, you're not going to believe what bird that is. And I'm like, is it a stork? And the second I say that, it flies off. It was an American stork. I've never seen one in my entire life. And if you're not familiar with the culture of storks, it said that storks bring babies. And it's like in so many books, so many kid books and everything like that. Pretty crazy. And then after that happened, I'm like, it's time. It is time. And then within 2 weeks, I was pregnant. It was crazy. And then that stork visited me again, like one other time after I was pregnant. And then it visited me another time, like a couple months down the line. Anyway, I feel like that was the most incredible thing. And from going from Marshall saying that I'm not going to get a sign to actually getting one was crazy and so cool. But anyway, that's it. Thank you so much for all of the love and the support. I love sharing the journey. I feel like for sure I'm going to want to do content in the future that helps women find their power in pregnancy. I feel like a lot of power gets taken away from a lot of women just because of what we're taught. I do think my content will eventually include some of that too, along with the storytelling. You know what you guys want to see next? If you're still here by the end of this, then you are the OGs and I love you so much. If you are not registered to come to my plot twist party, if there's still some seats left, click here and you'll be able to come and meet me in person and hang out with me in January. Love you guys so much.